Hello world, this is Stefan of Lendergan Games. It's nice to finally have a working computer again. My beloved video card needs to be fixed, so in the meantime I decided to reconstruct my second youngest computer, whose APU circumvents the dilemma, and then transfer the hard drive back into it. Unfortunately, while the repairman was fixing the patio light, the section of apartment in which this computer would sit, aka the old spot from which I moved the newer computer, lost electricity. About 4 days later, the electrician was able to come in and repair with newer materials the electrical joint that was holding together with just solder and duct tape since 1972. After that, it took me another day to first diagnose and then fix the fact that the video drivers on the hard drive were expecting a video card in the designated slot and couldn't be convinced otherwise. Yes, Godot's incompatibility with the basic Windows video driver affected my work. The progress I've made for this is that I now have placeholder characters that both collide with each other and move around each other when that happens. It took me a little while to figure out how to do that second part, since various collision shapes all ended up with complete traffic jams when a body caught a body coming through the rye. Now that Lendergan Games has hit the 100 followers milestone on Facebook, here's the social media statuses for posterity. Lendergan Games has 338 followers on Minds, 1 follower on Twitter, and 43 followers on Gab. Legion Front as a platform is still growing ever so slowly. Finally, hello to the 4 new YouTube subscribers. It's nice to see that this channel has exploded to twice its size since the last Devblog. On a commercial note, please send me money on Patreon. I have 3 wives, 8 children, and a mistress with 3 children of her own, so I have a lot of mouths to feed, and I need your help to do it. Neverwinter Nights is a tactical action game with upgrading and light role-playing elements. I'm fully aware that popular opinion holds it to be a role-playing game proper, but popular opinion and I have never been on speaking terms. With my own working definition, if the player's actions can't affect the story, it's not role-playing. Instead, Neverwinter Nights is eager to tell the player 2 things. Firstly, its story, and secondly, that said story is your story. As for the light role-playing elements to which I referred, the game does present to the player handfuls of events for the player's character to resolve. The resolutions then boil down to a handful of methods for evil outcomes for people who really want to do bad things to fictional characters, or methods for good outcomes, because why bother fighting the preset path? Of course, none of these events affect the main conflict or how it inevitably ends with the player character killing the big meanie pants in single combat. I apologize if I just spoiled the plot for you. The heavy emphasis on combat in the game means that, unfortunately, the 2 available playstyles in single player are frontline combatant and dead. You technically have the option available to sneak around and pick off stragglers, but in practice, once you get off your free shot, everyone on the street corner knows where you are. Diplomacy, bluffing, and intimidation are skills available for social situations, but social situations aren't available for bandits. To its massive credit, though, I applaud that the game engine itself was built to accommodate multiplayer. It really is in multiplayer that the Dungeons & Dragons mechanics can be fully appreciated. Now that I've said that out loud, I remember that the same is true of Dungeons & Dragons itself. The rules for Dungeons & Dragons were built around adventuring in groups, and the core problem with Neverwinter Nights' single player is the painfully lacking party building, namely lacking any 3rd or 4th party member. There is an option to hire one of the mercenaries that turn tricks on various street corners, but my orc could obliterate everything on his own with his oversized axe, and was also a master locksmith. The trick is to go through the chest's lid, not its lock. In the end, Neverwinter Nights is a fairly faithful recreation of Dungeons & Dragons' tabletop iteration. Combat-wise, anyway. If you want role-playing, go play Fallout 1 and 2. Did I enjoy Neverwinter Nights? Yeah, for a while. Unfortunately for me, I could trudge only so long through the loop of stop, kill, go, stop, kill, go. I got, I think, halfway through the second act of the 3-act game. My final score for Neverwinter Nights is Diablo on Downers out of 10.